Want to know the new cheapest steering wheel 2023? Today we bring the latest from Thrustmaster, the T128 model. On paper it does not look bad, as it is currently around €170. Consequently, it is competing in price with the Thrustmaster T150 and TMX, and is positioned below the Logitech alternatives. Don't miss today's video, because I will tell you the good and bad points of this steering wheel, and in which cases I would recommend you to buy it. I hope this video is what you were looking for, and I wanted to emphasize that it has been possible thanks to your support. If you want the channel to keep progressing, don't forget to subscribe. Check the description to follow us on other networks, like TikTok or Instagram, and above all, add our Amazon and Newegg affiliate links to your bookmarks. That way, despite paying the same price for your online purchases, you will be contributing directly to this channel. Thrustmaster with its new T128 has created a steering wheel that is positioned by name somewhat below the T150, although we'll see how it actually performs. The prices are at least very similar at the moment. If you want us to make a super comparison between these steering wheels, leave a comment and a like, to show that you are interested in this content. The packaging of the steering wheel is very simple, nothing special, and includes the base itself, the pedal board, the connection cables, and the plastic piece that serves as a table anchor. Obviously the user manuals are also included, which are useful to see the different functionalities offered by the steering wheel, and to see how to navigate through its menus. All the cables and brackets needed for mounting are included. In terms of materials we have nothing revolutionary either, and Thrustmaster keeps the hard plastics for its base and pedal board, with a steering wheel that is also constructed almost entirely of plastic. The pedal board is especially depressing, as we're back to the toy pedal boards that Thrustmaster has historically mounted on its cheaper steering wheels. We'll see later how this particular model performs. The rim is also made of plastic, and has quite a few buttons. Particularly noteworthy is the LED bar that functions as a rev counter. It is a very cool feature that is unusual for this range, and that I really liked. In this case we are with the PlayStation version, compatible with PS4 and PS5. So the distribution of buttons is focused on that console. The cams are also plastic, but are advertised as magnetic cams. We could say that they are, since they have two micro-magnets that join when we activate any of the two cams. In any case, they seem to me to be very small cams, and a clear step backwards compared to most of the cams that Thrustmaster itself mounts in the T150, for example. Overall I find it to be an okay steering wheel in terms of quality and construction. The feel is not too premium where it matters most, which is in the rim. A rim that is not interchangeable either, so in principle you are limited to continue using it. In materials it is clear that it is a steering wheel belonging to the low range, but it does not seem to me a reason to discard it, not at all. One of Thrustmaster's strong points in general and this wheel in particular is its force feedback. Don't know what it is? Although it is difficult to explain for someone who has not experienced it, it is the force that the base of the wheel exerts on the rim to simulate everything that is happening in the game in real time. With this, you get to recreate traction losses, bumps, hits, and much more. The quality of the force feedback is what determines the quality of a steering wheel to a large extent. In this model, the new hybrid drive system that was introduced in the T248 is maintained, and it continues to perform more than well. Personally I found it to be much less precise and informative in this T128, although in terms of power it still performs very well. I'll tell you more about this section when testing in games, but I can already tell you that it is a positive point. The new pedal board, which is called T2PM, is the negative point of this steering wheel. The T3PM, which might seem to be the 3-pedal version of this same pedal board because of its name, has nothing to do with this pedal board, unfortunately. The fact of including two pedals, which are the accelerator and brake, seems to me the least of its problems, since the clutch is not usually used too much by the vast majority of players. The main problems are due to the qualities, size and precision of the pedal board. The pedals seem to me to be too close together, and since they are made of plastic, it is very easy for them to move and not stay stable in one place. In terms of precision, the result is pitiful. This pedal board is very flat, and the pedals are very flat, so that you almost end up stepping on the pedal, instead of pushing it. This detail seems silly, but when it comes to regulating the throttle and brake, I found it extremely difficult to be consistent with this pedal board. The brake travel is short for the resistance it offers, or in other words, the pedal is too soft to be able to regulate braking well. Obviously, I'm not asking Thrustmaster for a pedalboard with a load cell brake pedal for this range, but it would have been ideal to take the same pedalboard of the T248 and remove the clutch at least, keeping the accelerator pedal and especially the brake pedal of those pedals that I liked so much. With this decision, Thrustmaster would have been crowned. Let's move on to the most important section. How does this wheel feel when playing? Is it closer to the entry ranges or to the top ranges? First of all, I should clarify that all these tests have been performed mounting the wheel on the desk, despite having a Northworld sim cockpit right next to it, since 99% of the players who are going to buy this wheel will also be mounting it on a table. Starting with the force feedback, it's a wheel that has delivered what it promises, and I think in this regard it can easily rival alternatives from Logitech, which cost considerably more money right now. It is a force feedback with enough strength for a setup of this style and for the vast majority of scenarios, but I would say that it lacks some precision and detail in the information it transmits. You don't end up feeling all the details that are happening in the car, at least not as well as in a T248, or in superior steering wheels like Fanatec's, obviously. For this range and this price, yes, it complies very well. The materials and finish also seem to me correct, and the detail of the LEDs for the revolutions I also liked quite a lot. It is not possible to know how this steering wheel will be after 3 years of use, but after this week of testing it is still perfectly fine. Finally, the thing that bothered me the most when using the steering wheel was the foot pedal. It won't have been a surprise for you if you have seen the video. Bad materials, bad positioning, and above all, impossible to be consistently accurate. If you are looking to compete or go beyond the pure fun of playing just a little while with your steering wheel, I think it is impossible that I can recommend this wheel. Competitive games like iRacing, which require maximum consistency and precision in all braking to be competitive, would be very difficult to manage with this pedalboard. I think that in those cases, pedalboards like the Logitech's give you an important advantage that you should consider. If what you are looking for is to have a wheel that occupies little to play half an hour from time to time, yes, this wheel may be perfect for you. In conclusion, the T128 has been a steering wheel that has met my expectations, but has not surprised me in any way. I expected a similar FFB, which has been very similar to that of a T150 for example. I was also expecting a bad pedalboard looking at the pictures, and here too my predictions have been fulfilled. We will have to wait for a future T128 Pro that can solve the problem of the pedals, and to be able to recommend this steering wheel to everyone. Right now, of course, there is no confirmation of such a version. The good thing is that you still have very interesting alternatives on the market, if the features of this steering wheel have not convinced you. Starting with the Thrustmaster T150 and TMX Pro, if you can find them, going through the Logitech alternatives, and ending in higher ranges like the Thrustmaster T248 that we liked so much. By the way, if you want to see a comparison between these 3 steering wheels, you have the video available on the channel. I'm sure it will come in handy. So what, are you looking to buy a steering wheel for sim racing now? Were you thinking about upgrading some other accessory? Then subscribe and stay tuned to the channel, as we will be bringing lots and lots of interesting sim racing content soon. Leave me now a comment telling me what content you would like to see and what you thought of this video. Suggestions, criticisms, and anything else you can think of are welcome. That said, we'll see you with more and better content. See you next time, bye.